Hey everybody, welcome to this special presentation on the FAFSA. So really quickly, let's jump right into it. Why you must complete the FAFSA application. Brought to you by profitfromcollege.com. Let's take a look. So what is the FAFSA? The FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. That means this application is free, so you should never have to pay to submit the FAFSA. Sometimes people get confused because there are some other websites that have similar sounding names that are not the website you want to visit. So you're always wanting to go to FAFSA.gov. That will take you to the government website that is absolutely free of charge for you to complete this particular form. Now, who should complete the FAFSA? Well, specifically, all students attending any four-year university or a two-year community college. There are some career and technical schools that will also accept the FAFSA. But if you're not attending a four-year institution or a two-year community college, you'll need to check with your school to see if they accept the FAFSA. Now, you must complete the FAFSA every year. This was a mistake that I made. I had no clue about financial aid or how to receive funding to attend college. I thought you did it once and that was it. You actually will need to complete this for each year that you're going to be in school. So every year, every new academic year, you're going to have to complete the FAFSA. So be prepared. Number two, it doesn't matter your age or classification. So whether you're a freshman in college, sophomore, junior, or senior, or even a graduate student, you still would need to complete the FAFSA. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or if you're 87. You still can complete the FAFSA. When is the FAFSA actually available? When can you fill it out each year? Each year, the FAFSA becomes available October 1st. That is your opportunity to begin this process. Here's why it's important that you schedule this in your calendar and think about how can you prepare yourself before October 1st so you have all of the necessary documents to complete the FAFSA. The reason you want to do that is because a number of the awards that you might qualify for are time sensitive, meaning there's not an unlimited supply of money. So funding does run out. So it's important that you get your FAFSA completed and submitted as quickly as possible so that you can get yourself positioned in line so that you can have priority awarding for any awards. Each university will have their own scheduled date of when your FAFSA would need to be completed to be eligible for priority awards. However, I'm a big believer that just says, regardless of what they say their deadline is, make a personal deadline yourself and try to get your FAFSA completed within the first 2 weeks of October, if that is at all possible. Now, why should I complete the FAFSA? Really, the FAFSA is a document that you have to complete if you want to be considered for certain scholarships, grants, work study, and federal loans. We're not going to dive deep into what each of these are and how they operate, but just know there is money out there for you to attend school that is coming from either the federal government, your state government, or your university. And they need this information to check or confirm your eligibility for these opportunities. Without this information, they are unable to do that. Specifically for need-based aid, meaning financial aid that you would qualify for based on your financial need. Now, what are some of the common objections that I see for completing the FAFSA? Oftentimes, parents specifically, they will say, well, I don't have time. I'm too busy. And I always ask them, well, how much do you earn per hour on your job? And I say that because take a look at this example. Let's say a student was eligible for the full Pell Grant Award. That award is $6,345 annually of free money that the federal government is going to give you to attend school or give your child to attend school. Now, what if it takes you 40 hours? Because you say, man, I don't know about you, but my family is really slow. We can't get it the first time around, right? Let's say it took you 40 hours to figure out how to finally complete and submit the FAFSA. And that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you spent 8 hours a day just staring at the screen. How does this thing work? So for 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, you tried to figure it out and you couldn't. So for a full work week, You tried to figure it out. And then finally, in hour 39, you said, Eureka, I got it. I finally figured it out after 5 days of study, and you complete the FAFSA. Do you realize that if you take that $6,345 and divide it into the 40 hours you actually spent trying to figure out how to do it, you were earning $158 an hour? Now, I don't know what you do for a living, but if you were telling me you were too busy to earn $158 an hour, that's a problem. Well, you say, well, that's not an accurate number because, well, what if I don't qualify for that? Well, that's true. Let's cut it in half. Let's say you didn't qualify for the $6,345. Let's say you qualified for $3,175 or so. That's still $79 an hour. By the way, we haven't touched on any other financial aid. That's why it's incumbent upon you to really make sure you jump on this opportunity starting October 1st related to the FAFSA and you move forward. I tell people, honestly, unless you are a high-profile attorney or you're slapping hands with one of the NBA players or pro football players, I don't know many people making $158 an hour or something close. Call in sick. Tell your boss, look, me showing up to work this week is going to cost me money. I am going to stay home and figure out this FAFSA thing. Because here's the bottom line. If you don't, who do you think is going to help pay your kid to go to college? That would be you. So you're going to have to work, I don't know how many hours to come up with the money that you did not get by completing the FAFSA. Why not, hey, use some of that vacation time if you really need it, figure this thing out, get those resources, and then go back to work. Now, it won't take 40 hours. It shouldn't. Like, there's so many resources available out there for you to help. But my point is to drive this home. You are not too busy to do this. There is too much money on the table for you to leave it there for someone else to take or for it to go unused. Now, another objection I see. I don't, parents, again, always say, well, I don't want the government knowing my business. Let me explain something to you. If you go to work every day, you don't make enough money to have any business that the government's concerned about. Right? So forget about this idea. Well, they're spying on me. Dude, trust me, if you're working every day, you're not making enough for them to care. They have bigger fish to fry. So get over that. And by the way, if we don't complete the FAFSA and we do have to pay out of pocket for our child's expenses, where's that money going to come from? So if you're already kind of tired and stressed because you are too busy, because you're working every day, how much more do you think you will have to work when you have to come out of pocket for $20,000 or $30,000? Leverage the resources that are available. Last objection. I make too much money. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm a high profile, I don't know, fighter pilot, whatever. I make too much money to do this. Well, that could be true, but how will you know unless you complete the application? Here's the reality. You may or may not know this, but I worked in financial aid for several years, and there were certain scholarships where the student did not have to have a large amount of financial need to receive the scholarship, but they had to have at least $1 of need. So you may be in a situation that says, well, 8 years ago, we did it, and we only had like $6 of financial need, and that's not enough to do anything, so I'm not going to do it again. Do you realize you would have missed out on this particular scholarship opportunity? In fact, a number of universities, they use the financial aid application as a vehicle with which to decide your eligibility for institutional, meaning university funds, that you don't have to have any financial need, but they need to see that you've completed a financial aid application. Why is that? Because they want to give money to individuals who are following the process to garner it through all possible avenues, and they need that financial aid application on file to justify giving you awards. Hopefully that makes sense. It has been a pleasure. If you have not completed the FAFSA or started that process, I encourage you to do so immediately. Today is October the 1st. So if you're seeing this at any other time, just know either you're in a position to where you're early, which is great. Maybe you're a junior, sophomore, freshman in high school, or maybe you're just learning about this now. You have plenty of time. Let's get that FAFSA completed as quickly as possible. Now, want to know more? feel free to like and subscribe this video, and I'll see you in future videos.